Have you ever, found yourself juggling different parts of who you are?
Oh, definitely. Like your background, maybe, or your beliefs.
Exactly. Or even where you call home if it's more than one place.
Right. How do those pieces fit together? Especially somewhere, dynamic.
Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. We're looking at a really insightful article by Tyreek A Gaynor-Fray.
Ah, the one called Personal Note on Being a Latter-day Saint in San Diego as an American Canadian.
That's the one. Published back in April 13th, 2025.
Still quite recent then.
Yeah. And our mission really is to explore how this person navigates this pretty unique mix. You've got the spiritual, the national, the cultural identities.
All happening within San Diego's diverse setting.
Precisely. And we want to see how these different parts don't just like sit next to each other, but actually complement and enrich one another.
Create something more than the sum of its parts, maybe?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm really quite excited to, well, peel back these layers and see how it all works together.
It's a fantastic way to look at how identity is constructed and expressed, isn't it?
Totally.
What really jumps out in Gaynor-Fray's piece isn't just listing these identities.
No.
No, it's the vibrant way it shows of their synergy, how they actually intercept and shape daily life.
Ah, so shaping perspective and purpose.
Exactly. It gets us past just labels, into the lived experience of integration.
That's such a good point. It's not theoretical. It's about how someone actually lives this stuff day to day.
Mm-hmm.
And to really get that interplay, I think we have to start with the spiritual anchor.
Being a Latter-day Saint in San Diego.
Right. Now, for anyone listening who might not be familiar, being a Latter-day Saint, or sometimes called Mormon, means you're actively practicing your faith.
As part of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Exactly. And the article really stresses that life is rooted in these core principles.
Like family, community service.
Personal integrity, yeah,
Yes.
and a deep devotion to Jesus Christ. These aren't just ideas, they feel like the bedrock in the article.
Absolutely. A foundation.
And it's not happening in isolation either.
Yeah.
San Diego, as the article points out, has these thriving Latter-day Saint communities.
And the iconic San Diego Temple is mentioned too, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's quite a landmark. And the piece details how church life is, well, more than just showing up on Sunday.
Right. There's a lot of emphasis on action.
For sure. Like extensive volunteer work, being active in missionary efforts to share their beliefs.
And sticking to specific gospel principles.
Like the word of wisdom, which is, more than just diet. It's like a whole health code.
For physical and mental well-being, often means avoiding alcohol, tobacco, caffeine.
Right. And things like the law of chastity, which the article frames as being about purity in thought and action, influencing relationships and integrity.
It paints a picture of a faith focused on constant spiritual growth.
Strengthening families and serving others, no matter who they are. It seems like a really comprehensive framework.
Yeah. And what's fascinating here, I think, is how these spiritual tenets provide more than just a moral compass or purpose.
Okay.
They seem to actively shape the individual's entire worldview. It's like the lens they use to see and interact with everything.
Ah, so it's not just one compartment of life.
Not at all. It's fully integrated.
Hmm.
This core identity, rooted in service, family, compassion, it must influence how they approach civic duties, work, even global events.
That makes sense. A kind of consistent set of values running through everything.
Exactly. So how do you think having that strong framework prepares someone to then handle, other complex identities without feeling overwhelmed?
That's a great question. It suggests maybe a kind of resilient core, right? Value-driven, able to engage with complexity from a place of strength. So, okay, if the spiritual side is the why, maybe the dual nationality is the how.
The how they navigate the world.
Yeah, like having two different cultural operating systems running at once. The article definitely presents dual citizenship as, well, both a privilege and a challenge.
Which probably resonates with anyone who feels connected to more than one place.
I'd imagine so. Let's unpack that a bit, because the article draws a really interesting contrast
between Canadian and American values.
Yeah. You've got the, stereotypically Canadian politeness, the emphasis on multiculturalism, diplomacy.
Sort of like a system geared towards inclusion and social safety nets?
Kind of, yeah. And then you contrast that with the American focus on personal freedom, ambition, that strong patriotic feeling.
Two powerful but different cultural engines.
Exactly. And the article really digs into how these distinct national traits and the responsibilities that come with them don't just broaden your view.
But they actually change how you approach things. Problem solving, maybe. Social interactions.
That's the idea. It seems to create a fundamentally different perspective.
And connecting that to the bigger picture, well, a dual national viewpoint like this almost inherently builds a kind of global understanding.
And adaptability, too, I bet.
For sure. You're not just learning about different ways of life, you're constantly navigating them personally. Different political systems, priorities.
Even legal stuff, potentially. The article mentions the practical side.
Right. Dealing with both the U.S. and Canadian political scenes, maybe taxes in both countries.
Keeping up ties with family, culture, legal obligations in two places. That sounds like a lot.
It is. It demands a high degree of flexibility culturally and mentally.
It sounds like a lot of effort, mentally and logistically, but the upsides must be huge.
Oh, definitely. The source highlights access to two major influential nations.
The freedom to move, work, study across borders easily, that's massive today.
Invaluable. But beyond just the practical, what about the maybe more subtle psychological benefits of constantly juggling these two cultures?
That's interesting. What do you think?
Well, I suspect it often fosters a really deep capacity for empathy.
Oh, being able to see things from multiple angles almost automatically.
Exactly. You develop this kind of third space perspective, maybe finding solutions by blending elements from both cultures, not just picking one.
So you're not just Canadian and American.
You become something new, maybe, something more than just the sum. It leads to a unique resilience, I think, and a broader sense of self.
Drawing from two rich traditions.
Which gives a more nuanced view on, well, everything from politics to relationships.
Okay, so we've got this person with a strong spiritual anchor and this wide-angle lens from dual nationality.
Right.
Now, the thing that really makes this all click, and what makes the article so compelling, is San Diego itself.
The setting.
Yeah, the article doesn't just treat it as a backdrop. It calls it an active nexus of identity. It talks about how dynamic and diverse the city is.
And its location is key, right? Being so close to Mexico.
Definitely. That and its multicultural population apparently fosters this real spirit of openness, of inclusivity.
You can feel that in the city.
And here's where it gets really interesting for me. San Diego itself is described as a city of blends.
How so?
Well, it mixes that chill beach culture with a really strong military presence.
Okay, yeah, I see that.
And you find progressive politics alongside more conservative streaks. American pride, living right next to international diversity.
It's like the city itself mirrors the individual's layered identity.
That's exactly it. And the article's main takeaway here is powerful. In San Diego, these identities don't clash, they complement.
Okay, that's a bold statement.
It is. But what does that actually look like? You know, day to day, how does San Diego help this integration happen instead of causing friction?
That really is the key insight, isn't it? It's not just that diversity exists there.
Right.
It's how the city's specific cultural mix, that sort of osmosis, creates an environment where personal synthesis can happen.
Cultural osmosis, I like that.
Yeah, think about the constant flow across the border, the military bringing global views, all the different communities. It cultivates a natural tendency towards adaptation and understanding.
So the city itself is like a model.
Almost like a cultural crucible, maybe, where things that could cause friction instead become creative fuel for building identity. San Diego itself shows how different pieces can enrich each other.
A real-world example of holding multiple identities without conflict.
Precisely.
That's a great way to put it, a cultural crucible. And the article gives concrete examples.
Like how faith strengthens purpose, while dual nationality boosts empathy.
Exactly, and it shows it in action. You know, attending a church meeting on Sunday, then maybe going to a multicultural festival in Balboa Park later that day.
Or volunteering somewhere that serves a really diverse group of people.
Right. These aren't separate boxes. They're woven together in a life that bridges borders, spiritual, national, cultural. It's integration in practice.
It shows they're not compartmentalizing, are they? They're actively synthesizing these parts in daily life.
Yeah.
And San Diego seems to be the catalyst, allowing these different elements to reinforce each other, not pull apart.
Which leads to a richer way of being involved in the community, I suppose.
Definitely. A more engaged form of citizenship. It shows identity isn't fixed, right? It's dynamic, shaped by where we are.
Which flows perfectly into this idea of the integrated life that comes out of it all.
Yes. How the combination Latter-day Saint, Canadian, American creates this life defined by faith, a global view, and civic responsibility.
It's a synthesis, like you said, not just a collection of parts. And the article is really articulate about what each identity brings to the table.
Okay.
Like the Latter-day Saint mission encourages looking beyond borders, seeing common humanity, the call to serve.
A global outward focus.
Yeah, and that connects nicely with the Canadian spirit, which the article says brings that peacekeeping, inclusive vibe to interaction.
Diplomacy and inclusion, right.
And then the American values add that appreciation for religious freedom, free expression.
And advocating for moral living, community betterment.
It's this really potent mix, creating a unique way of engaging with the world.
It really does raise an important question, though, doesn't it?
Which is,
how can any of us actively use our own diverse identities, like we see here, to make meaningful contributions?
how to leverage the mix.
Exactly. It's clear in the article that each layer offers specific strengths.
Yeah.
When you combine them, cultivate them, it becomes a powerful force for good.
The person isn't just a sum of parts.
No, they're a unique entity with enhanced abilities for service, for leadership, for building understanding.
Yeah.
And the article's core message really hammers this home. It says this complex identity leads to a life of faith, service, and balance.
Embracing the richness of two nations.
While staying grounded in gospel values that go beyond both. It really does feel like a kind of blueprint for a dynamic, purposeful life.
A blueprint for dynamic, purposeful living. I love that. This whole deep dive really drives home that central idea, doesn't it?
That diverse identities don't have to mean conflict.
Right. They can be a source of richness, of purpose, especially if you're in a supportive place like San Diego.
The layers complement each other, they enhance each other, create something unique and powerful.
Yeah, truly.
It really pushes us to look past simple labels, see the complex dance of who we are. You know, considering all this, it makes you think.
What's that?
How do the different layers of your own identity, maybe spiritual, national, professional, cultural, even just your ties to your local town, how do they uniquely shape your perspective?
How you engage with your community, with the world.
Exactly. And what new strength might come out if you consciously embrace how they all work together?
That is a brilliant question to leave everyone with, something to mull over, your own personal deep dive. We really hope our chat today encourages you to think about the unique tapestry of your own identities and the singular contributions that come from that weave. Thanks so much for joining us.